Hey guys, yay! Got all 4 commander packs to open today. That's cool, you know. It's been great news actually because the specs are really good, I think, but still not the same level as Commander 2017 like we had last year. This is obviously not the same quality of packs, and it's obviously not the same things, you know, but still good. This time there's again 4 packs. I think with us it's going to be 4 packs, not 5 all the time, because it used to be 5 colors, 5 packs. But this year something new is that there are 2 color packs with 3 colors association and 2 with 2. So you actually gotta choose a little more than you could use before. I think there's going to be a Commander edition each and every year right now, and I think each Commander edition is going to be 4 packs all the time from now on. Yeah, all the packs are quite solid as usual. You got 100 packs. This is of course made for multiplayer commanders because I'm not going to tell you all, but lots of cards inside are really oriented towards multiplayer games where you gotta attack anything you want and anyone you want. This is basically 400 cards, 307 different cards into them, and it's normally, I think, 59 new cards. 59 new cards you got inside, and the rest is just reprints of sometimes old cards actually. And you've got for the stats, I think, something like 15 basic lands and 26 tokens. So this is I just ordered Japanese version, like as usual. It's hard to find when you're in Europe, but when you got good friends and contacts, you can do this kind of stuff. The amazing attraction was not really present this time. If you go on Reddit, you'll see a poll with people who just ask what they wanted to buy, and they all bought the same thing. They all bought the bent. They all bought the bent deck because it seems to be fun. Followed by probably the Esper deck because people like Esper colors too, and the artifact decks doesn't really seem to attract more people than it does. And the Gen decks doesn't get all the love it deserves, but it's probably the least loved of the decks, but it's still cool, you know. In terms of sale value, it's actually close to be the same. It's not really really different from time to time. You just got a few bucks of difference between the least sold and the most wanted. You know, it's just there's no busted card, no really good reprint into this. Each and every commander pack's Liliana, move on the side. Each and every pack has, you know, apart from this recurring spell explanation, how it works, and I don't even know what it looks like in Japanese actually. It's just, yeah, learn how to play the basics. Woo! That is beautiful. But it's beautiful and large, like Sahilira and stuff, but yeah. So you got this kind of paper sheets, and of course, as usual, you've got, this time one full-size card. And of course, it's always the one that's in the front. And this time, the commander decks have three all colors commander into the pack. I think. I mean 3 cards that use all the colors of the pack and that can be your commander. So this time you've got a planeswalker all the time that says it can be your commander. And also with 3 abilities in each of them. So of course you get, my hands are clean, just wash the hands, dry and stuff. You've got the non-oversized version of the card also. And you've got, like I said, 2 commanders from the same color all the time. And it doesn't seem like people are getting really attracted by the new commanders. Actually, for some time, the enchantment pack, the aura pack, it's not enchantment pack, it's aura pack, seems to be more attractive to many people. So I actually think it's the one who's got the most, let's say, social attraction right now. So yeah, you got those packs, and Actually, this is I think pretty cool for multiplayer commander, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be very efficient when it comes to dual commander. That was the thing I was trying to analyze the most, and also people seem to be fuzzy about some really special cards into the packs, like I'm gonna show, like probably Yuriko, and I'm not sure. In terms of value, first, like I was saying, you don't really get some value back. The commander have no really special reprints from the older decks. You just got some cool stuff inside that you can expect from commander packs like this, but there's nothing especially dangerous for the format right now. You got the regular tokens, you got so the 4 packs are in order. This one is a typical Izzet Colors artifacts pack. You know, you've got Sahili Rai as a main commander inside. You've got it's not Sahili Rai, of course. It's how am I going to say so? It's I need to remember the name of the card. It's just remember Sahil the Gifted. Yeah, Sahil the Gifted. It's not really interesting anyway. I just don't really think it's that cool. I mean, it's something, you know. You can still play that card as your commander. It's not forbidden, but no, I don't really like the stuff. It's just not really useful to me. You just create a token 4+1. That's a 1/1 artifact servo. It doesn't fly, you know. It's a servo artifact. It's exactly in the Kaladesh, like in the Kaladesh block, you know. It's not really going anywhere. And you got +1. The next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less for each artifact you control, and the last ability, the one before the last, because the last one means it can be a commander. It's you create a token of it, and it's not really you create a copy of each artifact you control, and they got haste, and you exile them at beginning of end step. So it's not really useful to me, actually. I don't think I actually like the pack by itself. You know, I just you've got some recurring reprints of commander. This is new cards. You got, of course, massive reprints of tokens. You know, you've got the you got the tokens that make you draw. You've got some functional reprints. You've got some classics. This one is one of the new cards in this pack. You know, it's a 5/3 trample 1, does damage to a player. You can cast your commander from your command zone, and that was one of the rare things. I say, like your artifact costs one less to cast. You're into the role. You got some things to make you draw, to make you search for artifacts, to make you draw again. This one creates sculptors, this one too. This was a good thing in limited and almost standard, I think it was cool. Create token, boost your artifacts. Nothing new to say about this pack. It's just, you know, yeah, it's just a classic. You get some fixing, get some additional mana engine, the classic Soul Ring that you get all the time in all the packs, and yes, this is authorized in multiplayer. Swift Boot when you get haste on your commander and stuff like this. You've got this one does make mana stones either. There's one island lost in the middle of the pack. Alright, that's one island. Hello. It's lost here. And you don't really get some new things. This is one of the new cards, you know, that people are actually like a little, because it makes your opponent cracks their mana stones when they just use them. So that's not really useful, you know. I don't really think this is one of the new cards. You get to could be useful in monocolor decks, you know. If you control three lands with the same name, you just pay 2, you tap it, and you draw. Wow, that's not really amazing, but yeah, the Zendiko, go away. The Avatar, you've got nothing. The Inkwell Leviathan. That's I would say functional reprints, not functional but static reprints that doesn't really change the value of the pack. You know, this one is Sally's Artistry, I think. That was some good packs. This is a good pack. You know, you create Thopters, but 1 by 1 only. This one makes 30 damage to each creature, I think. I never remember how much, but kill swap. That's just oh, close to the bottle. I just don't really. Oh gosh, I don't really enjoy all the back. But you got recurring multiplayer staples like duplicant, and that's some crazy stuff. Mere Battle Sphere is a very good thing in some packs. It's a really fast card to kill your opponents in like direct mono red decks and stuff like this. This is good too. You destroy lots of things. You actually get some corruptions. And you get, in terms of land, mana base, whatever it is, really static, you got some new stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's the new stuff. That's a new land. I don't remember the name of the new land because I haven't played it yet and I don't really care. I think it's Forge of Heroes. Yeah, Forge of Heroes. So you choose a commander that enters the battlefield this turn, and you put a +1/+1 counter on it. If it's a creature or a loyalty counter, it's a planeswalker. So could be something, but really it's the classic command tower, Darksteel Citadel, and you create tokens, you crack it, create tokens. That's a good thing. That's one of the good cards you get to play in Commander than the artifact lands, and a few no really amazing lands on this. Yeah, Seed of a Synod is really cool. No really good thing to add to this pack. So I don't really like this pack. I just bought all the packs to get the cards, so I was happy about that. This one is much more enjoyable. As you know, I've been creating enchantment packs in Commander for like years. I'm playing currently, I think it's Steel Traxa. I think I'm gonna move back to Esper enchantment packs because yeah, I like the idea of Enchantress packs. I like the idea of non-commander staples and non-commander archetypes being played in Commander. Like I like playing good staple cards, and it's a small mark on the left. Same here. This Commander pack is not really amazing, but it has a few things that I actually liked into it. Like this is Estrid the Masked, and actually this is a very powerful card, but not really as powerful as you could expect. You untap with +2, so it's actually 5 counters, so it goes really fast. You untap really each enchanted permanent you control. The thing is, it's absolutely amazing on lands, and the enchantments on lands that make mana are not really that many. You don't have that many, especially since one of them is a red, white, green that you cannot play because of a color identity. You've got the classics. That you want to play that cost 1 and make 1 green more. You've got Utopia Sprawl, you've got all the things that cost 2 are good as well, and after 3 it's just good for commanders, and you actually got the cards like this inside. So this is not something I wanted to play, but actually also this is a cool mechanic because the -1 here is the first time that Wizards unlocked a new mechanic that everyone could know about. You create a token that is a token of an aura. It's an enchantment token that is an aura. That's the first time in Magic that you can see this. Among the few things that Wizards hasn't done yet, you got land tokens. So far, no land tokens, but it could happen sometime. Everything can be copied. Recently, we got legendary sorcery. No legendary instance so far, I think, but it's coming. It's coming, and yeah. And also, the -7 is cool. You just mill yourself for 7 cards, and you return all the non-aura enchantments to the battlefield, and then you do the same for aura, which is if you got enchantment creatures, you got to put the enchantment creatures first, and then you got an aura on them, which is actually quite cool, and makes you get everything back, because if you don't know the rules of Magic, if you got nothing on the battlefield that the auras can enchant, but you got the potential legal targets and legal enchanted permanents after this, you cannot have this at the same time. When it goes to the battlefield all as one, you cannot have the auras attached to something that is not already present on the battlefield. It's small complicated rule that you have to understand one day. And yeah, that's a pain in the ass usually, but it just goes away. So also you've got two creatures that are left into this. You've got Castilla and Tuveza, I think, yeah, Tuveza. Those creatures are quite interesting. The first one on the left is not really interesting, but it is interesting in a deck that combines all three. It's just a bestow creature, so an ability that comes from Born of the Gods, I think. It gets +4/+4. And usually the bestow ability is the equivalent of what the card is naturally. So this is a 4/4, so bestow is 4/4, makes +4/+4. And you know, it has a static ability that says whenever a triggered ability which says whenever an enchanted creature or an enchantment creature, both enchantment creature or enchanted creature attacks, you draw, and you don't have a choice, you draw. So that's actually a deck that's revolving around auras. You know, it's not revolving around enchantments. It just uses auras, and yeah, auras are enchantments. So you have this, and this is actually the most interesting card, and that's the main reason why I bought the packs, because this is going to be my new commander, I think. This is a 1/1 basic color cast. You know, you don't get additional mana cast to get this one. So it's 3, 5, 7, 9. This is +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. And when you play an enchantment control deck, that's actually crazy, because this usually means your commander is going to be a 9/9 for like nothing. And when you cast your first enchantment spell each turn, you draw a card. You don't have a choice, and it's only for the first one, but that's already powerful enough, because the Enchantress, the creature that makes you draw, I actually removed most of them recently, because I was bored with getting killed too fast. This is fun for multiplayer, but not for single player. So these are the aura tokens that you can generate with your commander, which is actually cool. This is, yeah, bro, I need to breathe sometime, but I was quite speed because I got the 4 packs to open. This is one of the new cards also that you get into these packs. You know, it's a unicorn, and I swear it's a unicorn. Yes, that's the Magic the Gathering version of unicorns, right? I hope you like it, because it's gonna be the same. And all of them have an ability that says it's Lieutenant. At the beginning of the combat in your turn, if you control your commander, you do something. This one prevents all combat damage that will be dealt to creature you control this turn. And other creatures you control gain Vigilance. Not this one, which already has Vigilance. This is Vigilance in Japanese, yeah. Right? And a few things that you need to know. This is the same in green. It's Lieutenant. This one is, of course, a Warden, I think. I don't even remember its name. It's a Warden, I think. It's a Rhinoceros, Rhino. It's a 4/4. Yeah, it's Loyal Guardian. Yeah. This one says, at the beginning of combat, if you control your commander on your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So yeah, this is kind of cool. And you've got a few things that are reprinted. This is cool. Soul Snare. Exile a target creature that's attacking you or a planeswalker you control. Bestow things. You've got actually a cool series of reprints. You know, the Knowledge that gets +1/+1 for each enchantment. Get some enchantment more. This is, if I'm not completely lost, this is another way to generate mana, so this is actually cool, and I don't even remember the card name. I play it and I always forget. It's not the World Growth, it's no, Dance Reflection. It's, I don't remember the card's name, and forget it. I don't care. So what else do we have? This, the Mandatory Reclamation Sage. That's actually really good against your packers. Not everyone breaks enchantments, you know, so you usually get a cool thing in enchantment decks because no one has enchantment removal. And why? Because nobody has it. You know, you've got some enchantment removals in green and white, I think, something, and bounces in blue, but it's not going to be threatening your pack. So Actually, this is one of the strengths of the pack. You got stickers on the table. You don't get your permanents removed, and that's why it's good. This is exactly what is good with the commander. You know, world growth is a thing, and that's actually really good. The classic that are not dangerous for the formats. You know, like Yavimaya. Yavimaya priest or priestess or enchantress, I never know. Enchantress of the Yavimaya, I think it's 2/2 that gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. Burn charm for no reason. You can counter the only things that will kill your permanents. This is unflinching courage. You got soaring, of course, same as the other ones. 3 lands lost in the middle of nowhere. So I suppose these are not bonus lands. Not really a huge fan of the rest. This is cool, actually. This is the I was looking at Cities Revive, but this is History's Invocation, and this enchantment is a new thing. This is an enchantment, but is a copy enchantment. You know, it enters the battlefield as a copy of any enchantment you control, but this time it's you control. Be careful, that's not as good as a copy enchantment. And it has an ability, and it gives the ability permanently to all the copies you have that say, at the beginning of copy, you may exile this enchantment. If you do, you may return it to the owner's control. So you can blink this at the beginning of your upkeep. And you can have this ability all the time, so you can keep copying over permanents and over enchantments. So actually, this could work, like for example, on I just never remember the cards. Just wait. This could work on the 2/2 enchantress that makes you draw every time an enchantment enters the battlefield. I just lost the complete name of it. I'm gonna find it back. I mean, yeah, Eidolon of Blossoms. Yeah, with Eidolon of Blossoms at least. And I don't have. There are thousands of good ideas with this, but Eidolon of Blossoms seems to be a good one. Also, this is a copy. So if you got a Sterling Grove, you got a copy. You got 2 Sterling Groves, and your whole battlefield gets enchantments. I think is going to get hexproof. It's not Shroud, yeah, Shroud. And if you got this Sterling Grove and, for example, Enchanted Evening, your whole battlefield all the time is completely Shroud. So this is usually the problem in enchantment packs. You need there are 2 card combos like Wheel of Sun and Moon and Energy Field, for example. And I'm not going to name the thousands of combos with Fastborn, but usually you start getting really affinities within 2, 3, 4 enchantments, and the more you get, the more it's going to be actually good. So yeah, you're getting some good stuff all the time with enchantments, and actually the thing is how to resist the first 4 or 5 turns. It's actually quite hard. This is one of the new cards. This is utterly stupid. So this is a land. That is actually a creature, and you cast it. Yeah, go away with this. I don't care. You just handle yourself. This is. I don't have the words. It's not stupid. It's actually really cool. It's really fun. You know, that's. I think that's the first time we do it. It's a thing that you can cast and that enters the battlefield as a land because. It enters the battlefield with 5 slumber counters on it, and as long as it has a slumber on it, a slumber counter, it's a land. And then it becomes, when you cast a spell, you may remove the slumber counter, so it just makes, you see on the bottom left, it makes some blue-green, you know, and then it becomes a 12/12. And of course, it's legendary, and it's fun, I suppose. These Hydras are still good. This is Bruna. No, not Bruna. I'm lost in the angels' names. This how is this one called? I never remember. I just see. Yeah. I mean, yes, Bruna Light of Alabaster. Yeah, that's cool. I got good memory. Jenny's Parade Mage. You got some cool stuff. You got Martial Coup that just kills everything. It's just this that kills everything. This is one of the multiplayer steppers, but you have to play multiplayer. I don't play this in duel because it's too slow. But yeah, every time you cast an enchantment, you put 4 for fly and angel, which is cool. This kills everything as well. This is a tactic to fix. It's everyone draws on his or her upkeep. This has flash too. This is an Umbra, Bear Umbra. There was a reprint. This is a Sacha. There's a reprint too. Everything's a reprint actually into this. So the Land of Blossoms. Oh, you got one into it. So this is the Land of Blossoms, and as I was saying, if you copy it, every turn good. This is a very, very good reprint. It's actually to me, I think this is one of the best cards in the pack, if not the best one. It's Enchantress's Presence. So it's an enchantment by itself, and whenever you cast an enchantment, you draw. You don't draw for this one, but you draw for all the following ones. It costs 3, it's perfectly timed, and if you can have a copy of this one, it's going to be crazy, and yeah, the pack becomes good. This is immense and stupid. This is something that prevents you from using your graveyard. It's good at the next pack. We're going to look at the June pack. This makes your enchantment cost 1 less, and you gain 1 life whenever you cast an enchantment. This is a Reversal Key. This is Daxos of Melodies. You got Hour of Glory. I don't think there are actually many other good cards, but this one has the less good, the how to say so, not the best amount of good cards, but the less bad amount of good cards into it. This is still the new land, you know. Makes your commander grow faster. This is a very good thing to play in commander with enchantment. So you got this card, you enchant it, and if you play this as a commander, you gotta untap it, and it makes 3 mana per turn, which is kind of cool actually for a pre-constructed pack, because you gotta go really high and fast. You know, it generates mana. So yeah, you gotta do something with this. Some cool old school fetch land reprints. This gets you the basics you want to do to get, you know, the Trillions. Not bad. And here you got all the 3 bounce lands from Ravnica that are played in Modern right now. This one is played in Modern, you know, with Amulet packs. And yeah, that's cool. So this is so far the pack, of course, I prefer, and the reason why I bought all these commander packs. I had a very good price on all of them, so that's why I bought all the Japanese packs. So this is the least loved pack of them all for people, but I think it's cool. I still think it's actually kind of cool, and this is Lord Windgrace. You know, it's a planeswalker that can be your commander, and as the other packs. So actually, this costs 5. Yeah, it costs 5. So looks like a drawback. Looks like something that makes you never play it, because it looks like it's impossible to play it, and it's not at all. It's completely playable, you know. And the main abilities are you just +2, you discard a card, then you draw a card, and if it's a land card that you discarded, then you draw an additional card, and you gotta read the ability 2 or 3 times to make people like it, you know, because sometimes you're gonna make them fizz on that, you know. And then -3, you return up to 2 target lands from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then the -11 is you destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, but it's non-land, so that's bullshit. Why non-land? You got -11, come on. And then you create 6 2/2 green cat warrior creatures, creatures with forest walks. Forest walk is a long-term non-seen ability. It's been like years since we haven't have basic land walk. I don't even remember last time I saw it. I think it was in Time Spiral. I don't remember having seen anything. Maybe we had non-basic land walk since, but I'm not sure. And of course, you got to think you destroy up to 6 permanents, but you always put 6 tokens. So this is not something I would really recommend playing, but you've got 2 other interesting commanders. And this is where I think it differs from other commander packs, actually, because the one on the left is cool, actually. Gerus, Walker of Corpses, enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the mana you spend to cast it. I think it's just like Marath, Will of the World. So it's just the same. You got 0/0 that gets it's a 3/3, then it's a 5/5, and it's a 7/7, etc. So it keeps growing as you cast it. It's way less dangerous than Marath, Will of the World is. Way less dangerous. But actually, the second ability is whenever it attacks, you may exile a creature card with lesser power from your graveyard. And if you do, you create a token that's a copy of the card, and it's tapped and attacking, and you exile it at the end of combat. So you may actually get a copy that is exiled. That is the drawback. It exiles. So you can't do this every turn with the same creature. That would be, I think, bad combos like the one that makes you untap and attack one more time each and every turn, so that wouldn't be a good idea. But this is actually some good creature, and this is Fentis the Wereweaver. It's a 5/5 for 6. It's Vigilance Rich, so why not Vigilance Rich? All creatures attack each combat if able. That's one of the rare times in Magic that you see this ability. All creatures, this and everything else, attacks each combat if able. So you just have everyone has to attack with everything. In multiplayer, this is actually really cool. This is the kind of ability that is really wreaking havoc in multiplayer. You just got to force people with non-defender creatures to attack if able. So, and whenever a creature whenever a creature attacks you or planeswalker you control, you put a +1 counter on it. So, if people have to attack with everything, and if they attack you in multiplayer, you can have this grow, which is cool. So yeah, the deck is revolving with around land manipulation, and I don't think there's lots of things to say about this. You got some pretty new cool tokens. The kitty tokens. That's a fighting kitty. Don't ask me why, but it's a fighting kitty. You've got some cool reprints and good things. You got the same Rhino than in the Enchantress pack, which is still the same thing. Retreat to Hagra. This is actually a good enchantment to play in 4 colors enchantment packs, and it's not the enchantment pack. This one, is pretty useful. You always make the same thing. You don't make +1/+0 on Death Touch. You just lose a life, and every opponent loses 1 life. This is a Stitch Together, I think. It's coming from the old ages. You sacrifice stuff to reanimate stuff. Acidic Slime, as usual. You've got the basic ramping stuff like Cultivate, like Raisins, like Explore. I think I don't remember. Far than Elf, you got some crazy stuff like this. Calling Expedition, this is actually good. This is actually a good enchantment. I wanted to play this in Enchantress sometimes too, in the other packs. This is actually good. You got landfall. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, you add a counter on this, and we got 4 counter, I think, or 3 counters. I never remember how many. I think it's 3. You just sacrifice it, and you search for 2 basic lands, and you put them into play. Secret Tribuilder, also a very old stapper. This one is very famous too. Makes you get more lands. Petrify. This is a World Tornado. Wow, this is a new drawing, a new illustration, a new art for this World Tornado. Yeah. It's cool. This one is strength equal to the number of lands you can add, mandatory solving. Again, a lost land in the middle of the pack for no reason. Why not? I don't think it's really worth talking about this pack. It's just good stuff with land creature destruction, and I think this is one of the new creatures. I'm never sure. But yeah, this is one of the new creatures. It's a 5/5. It's impossible to pronounce. It's Xencha, Sleeper Agent. It's very special. It's a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, an opponent of your choice gains control of it, and it attacks each turn if able, each combat. and it can't attack its owner or planeswalker its owner controls. So you actually give it to someone else. It cannot attack you. It cannot attack your planeswalker. So this is typically multiplayer, and anyone may pay 3 to have the person who's controlling it lose for 2 life and draw a card. And everyone can do this. So yeah, why not? I'd say this is cool in multiplayer, no, right? So, this is cool. You got Avenger of Zendikar, in just Battlefield, you create a 0/1 plan token for each and every land you control. And whenever you land enters the battlefield under you control, you put a +1/+1 counter on each plane you control. So it's actually cool. This is destroy target or creature with you get it cast it twice. You get to cast it on your land and make a 4/4 in addition to this. What else do we have here? You got lol. The ugly stuff. This is cool actually. This is a thing that was playing in standard 6/6 trample, that every time you get a land that enters the battlefield you create a 4/4 token. That's cool. This is actually strong. And this is actually something was played in and banned in standard too. It's yeah, actually quite interesting too. Green case. Avalanche. If you understand the illustration of this one, you are really completely amazing one, because actually it's a cathedral that's being burnt in the flames in the middle, and it took me some time to understand this. This is actually really good, an army of worms that you can put in battlefield. This is Sundial, you just play everything and flash. And there we go with the basic land, the same land as we have in all the packs as I told you. And the command tower that you don't have a choice to have now. The bounce lands actually are here too, that's cool. The same dual lands, the Corny Garden that makes another plant, goes really well with the Avenger, the Trillions. Oh, this is Temple of the False God. So you get the Temple of the False God in this pack at least. That's good. That's one of the really, really recurring lands in Dual Commander as well, and it's actually cool. Myriad Landscape too. So you get to fetch some lands. So this is about playing some lands and doing some stuff with, basic destruction, spot removal, and everything else. And then we go to the last pack, which is with I always say Kirikou because I'm fucking stupid, because it's always too easy when you are utterly stupid as I am. And it's not Kirikou at all, of course. It's Aminatu, yeah. It's don't ask me why this is a completely black-eyed, black skin, black hair little girl or anything that looks like it. And I don't know. It's just but well, really feeling like they could do something that's really weird. You wanted to have something weird, then you got something weird. It's weird. Look at how frightening it is. You just got some horror music playing in the background, la 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 la, and then it just kills everything in the place. It's. So yeah, this one is actually good too because it got the minimum basic land colors, blue, black, white. So it's actually grows quite fast. It can be a commander, as I just mentioned previously. You +1 draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. So you just not Fate Steel, but I don't have this. It's just an ability that you don't see very often. You got the -1, you exile another target permanent you own, and then you return it to battlefield. So that's a blink. The -1 is a blink on any permanent you have, and it's not non-land permanent, right? It can be a land, so you can make some trigger with lands too. And -6, you choose left or right, so this is made for multiplayer, but when 1-to-1 it also works. And each player gains control of all the non-land permanents other than this card, controlled by the next player. So actually, if you empty the boards, and if your opponent is starting to rebuild something, you can just make -6 and exchange nothing from you with everything from them. So this is actually something you can play in in duel and But you can do something with it. You can do something with it. It's not completely stupid, and it costs 3, so why not? I understand the hype around this one. And this one on the left is a 4/4, and it's the Renal Edge Queen. It's a zombie wizard, so 2 kind of creatures that are really cool. And also the foil is amazing on this one. I don't know if you see it, but the foil is it's overly foiled, overly shining. You know, it's crazy. I actually like it. And this one is a 4/4. That's a zombie wizard. No ability other than this. But when you attack with 1 or more zombies, you draw that many cards and you discard that many cards and you gain that much life. So attack with zombies. At least it by alone itself. You get a 4/4. You attack. You draw 1, discard 1, gain 1. And then you exile 2 cards from your graveyard. You pay 2. And you create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So it's actually something where you're gonna junk all your graveyard for nothing if you play this. I don't really like this creature. I don't think it's bad. It's a 4/4/4/4, but not really interesting. And this one is a flyer. It's a Sphinx, of course. It's Yenet Critics of Rain. It's a fly vigilance menace creature. So quite hard to stop. And cost 5, you know, and when it attacks, you reveal the top cards of your library, and top card of your library. If it's odd, like if it's a converted mana cost that is odd, you can cast it without paying its mana cost, and otherwise you draw a card. So it attacks, you reveal, you play, you may cast it. You don't have to. You may cast it for its for 0, you know, for no mana costs, whatever it is. And then you draw a card if you don't do it. So of course, if it's a land, it's cost. So you cannot use the land which mana cost is 0 because they don't have mana cost, and so it doesn't work with land. You cannot have lands put on the battlefield for just like that. You know, it's not that easy. So actually, this is still weaker than Sharum, but it's actually kind of bad. Not bad. You know, I would say this is playable, but this is quite heavy, you know. You expect something really, really crushing for 5 mana creatures and 5 mana commanders, actually. So you've got the classics, the zombie tokens, like 100 of tokens. You've got the Megamorph. Something has Megamorph inside. You've got the same unicorn than in the other pack. You've got the same 5/3 that makes you commander recast. You can exile for free. Cradle to whatever it is, you exile and create a token on the opponent's control. You destroy artifacts and enchantments. Oh, you get a Brainstorm? No. Yeah, it's a Brainstorm. It's actually cool. A Brainstorm with special new design. So new illustration, new Japanese name, new wording, and new way of separating the text box and the ability box. So that's actually kind of new Brainstorm. And woo! At last, Brainstorm is getting reprinted as an uncommon. It doesn't mean anything because the pack has only promotional rarities. You know, it's fixed. You don't get to choose and open boosters, but actually that's cool. So you got Emerald Drifter. Hey you. That's a very good card. Really, really good card for any reason. You got ninjas because you've got some ninjas inside. That's a Ponder too. Ponder with the same time first reprint with the separated text box, and it's actually Portent. Is that a Portent? Yeah, I think it's a Portent. I'm pretty sure it is actually. Yeah, that's Portent reprint. So this is the first time reprint. It's been printed twice, I think. Portent. It's a sorcery. You look at the top 3 cards of Target Player's library, including yours if you want to. You put them back in any order. You can shuffle, and you draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So this is close to Ponder. It's not Ponder, but it's close to Ponder. It's a delayed Ponder, you know. So you've got this Sigil Starfish. You scry, tap to scry, Hour of Treasure Hunt. It says you just exile a creature and enchantment, I think. You've got some signets. Some mana, additional mana base. That's a new drawing for each signet. And this is Magus of the Balance. So yeah, it's what it looks like. You just pay 5, you tap it, and you make a balance, which is crazy in multiplayer, of course. This is a card with the commander on it, with a miniature on it, and I don't know why, but it's fun. This is the opposite of Entreat the Angels, so it's the black Entreat the Angels, it's Entreat the Dead. Except that you don't create angels, you just reanimate things, I think. I don't remember. This is actually something that was valuable and people wanted to discuss. I don't know, not really convinced. The thing is, as you saw in the last pack, we have a card that's growing as you cast it, and that's a reason why we banned Nimor Mara from Win Wall of the World a long time ago. And actually, this is also an ability that was dodged in the Revi, except that in the Revi was a simple cast all the time. You just do it like you want. This one is a Commander Ninjutsu, so you have to return an unblocked attacker you control, and you put this card in the battlefield tapped and attacking, which means you exchange a card that is tapped and attacking with your hand with this from the command zone. So and you may put this from your hand as well, because it's a mixed with ninjutsu and commander ninjutsu. So it only works with your commander because it's your commander, I suppose, if you play this. And this is blue-black. So ninjas are blue-black. Historically, you know, it's just an old school theme, an archetype from the Japanese blocks, Kamigawa, you know, it's just coming back from these ages. So actually this gets some hype because, you know, whenever a ninja you control is combat damage to a player, reveal the top cards of your library, and you put that in your hand, and each opponent, not you, loses life equal to the converted mana cost of the card. So this actually could kill quite fast, and it's fun in multiplayer, it's not really fun in single player. This is not really good land, you know, you just need to activate it for two lands difference between you and any opponent, which is cool in multiplayer, not cool in single player. This doesn't treat the angels, of course. This is an Avatar of Sarah, I think. This is a very good illustration. You know, I like the art here where you just get many zombies for nothing. Valkyrie of Adalkor. This is destroy everything and cycle. This is a Terminus. Got Miracle. This is a Sphinx, this is a Bounce, this is a Gene of Wishes that's currently in standard, I think. This is a Sphinx of Udun, I think. Touch the Eighth Mage. One of the cards you're really unhappy about opening when you're opening Masters 2017 cards, and that's a pain in the ass, you know. Yeah, you've got some good stuff. This is cool too. This is good things, you know, you just destroy things, but you have to make it grow if you want it to survive, and that's a Noni. That's exile anything. That's another land. That's mana as usual, and the classic bunch of mana, the same land, the 3 land that they put into the decks, the bounce lands, the command tower, and some graves that. Yeah, some grave that you still see into the Cycle Islands. This is Lonely Sandbar. This is cool, beautiful footprints. Yeah, nothing much to say about that. You know, you just got the basic lands you wanted to have, and some uncommon lands printed as uncommon. So, yeah, the difference is this pack is playable too, and I think this time the commander is more worth it than anything. So yeah. So what do you have in the end? You got 4 packs that you can play, and I think it's really cool for people who start playing Commander in multiplayer, especially if you don't care and if you like playing with pre-constructed packs. These ones are fun. They don't force an archetype, so you don't have to worry too much about playing it. There's no reason to take one more than another. They're extremely balanced if you play in multiplayer. You just go off with something, but you know it's multiplayer, so if one player goes up alone, you get pretty sure it's gonna be the player dying first. So that's multiplayer what it's about, you know. And so yeah, this is Commander 2008. Really glad I got the packs too, as usual, and every year. I actually like this. Now I got to sleeve everything that's worth more than $1. So it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So wink, wink. See you guys.